B&H is here to make sure you have the right parts and partner for the task at hand. B&H.
And you can see these different colored rotations. This is telling us that we are seeing some rotation within this storm. And again, that is right around the Randolph area, currently right on 44, just north of 224. This will be pushing its way toward Palmyra, also over toward Craig Beach. So if you know anyone around the Craig Beach area, definitely want to give them some heads up there out on Lake Milton, as this storm is moving in that direction. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off this upper marker, and what this marker is telling us, this is the circle that you're seeing here, is that there is definitely rotation spinning up with this storm. As we start to look at some of our tools here, this is what we call our rotation tracker. This has had a history, this storm, of producing shear with it, and you can plainly see as we look off to the west, and I'm going to turn the warnings off just for a second, just to show you what I'm talking about. And this is this path of rotation here, as this has made its way across southern parts of Medina County, over into Summit County, now here into Portage County, right around Rootstown, and again, pushing its way into central southern parts of Portage County, but currently that rotation that's showing up, I need to turn this off for a second for you so you can see this closer, is right along the Interstate 76, and just south of there, that's where that rotation tracker is showing up. And again, we look at these different products in here to try to pinpoint these cells as they move on through, and what we're seeing currently, at least, is this area of rotation right around the Rootstown area, pretty much between Randolph and Rootstown, off of 76. So if you live in east central parts of Portage County, want to definitely be taking preparation. There is a tornado warning, and you can plainly see that blinking in red here. This is officially in place until 4:30. And Kyle, what's the speed on that? I believe they're about 30 to 35 miles per hour. I know the warning when it came out on the text itself. I was curious what they were saying.
Yeah, we're looking still at about 30 to 35 miles an hour
on that. So if we go ahead and throw a track on this, and we'll do that just to kind of get a better pinpoint of this moving off to the east here. This is a supercell that is coming together here, making its way on in, and there is a good chance the tornadic part of this storm, so if we drag this off to the east here at about 30 miles per hour, that does put that into the Blanco area. This is right across from Craig Beach at about 4:30, so I will not be surprised if we see a new warning, probably a tornado warning, is going to come in place here for Mahoning County shortly. In fact, we may be breaking in on the air shortly on all our channels, again, as this approaches the county lines here of western Mahoning County. This is a tornadic storm, currently showing indication of a tornado as far as Doppler radar is considered, and you can plainly see that here as we're looking at some of the rotation on this. So meteorologist Paul Wetzel alongside with meteorologist Kyle Alexander, and of course Jacob Thompson also in here working with us this afternoon.
Well, I would like to point out, too, some of these wind speeds are picking up around the system, too. We're now seeing wind getting up into the low 40s now with this system pushing towards and really through Portage County. So, again, it's kind of building as it's moving eastward right now.
Yeah, this storm is pulsing up again, and thank you very much, Kyle. This is an indication of, and this is what we were concerned about. We were looking at this time frame this afternoon. Just real quick, before we continue back to that storm, there are some other storms around. Currently, there's a storm down by New Philly. That's going to miss the area, but there is a stronger storm right now up in northern Trumbull County. We're watching that one, too. Don't see any signs of rotation on that yet, but that's something we'll be watching. And again, but as this storm moves in out of Portage County, this is going to be moving into Mahoning County, and I will not be surprised here shortly if they don't reissue a new tornado warning on that, Kyle. So we're going to be watching that closely too. I'm going to let you take over for a second, Kyle. I want to check something over here. It's all yours.
Yes, we are still tracking all of this coming through. Again, it's been kind of building throughout the afternoon. As we've worked into these afternoon hours, lots of pop-up storms and showers really working on through. And again, still tracking this system right now in Portage County, where we do see a tornado warning associated with this system. Again, just to kind of show you what we're dealing with, it lasts until 4:30 in Portage County. But again, this is kind of building steam as it works its way towards our viewing area. That's why we are streaming online right now. You can also see we are still dealing with a severe thunderstorm warning associated with this system too. And we've got some more weather activity to our south that, again, will miss the area, but Columbiana County, I do expect to see some showers and thunderstorms. Let me give you another idea, kind of looking at where we're seeing some of this rotation. If I turn off lightning and some of the warnings here, you can really see how some of this wind speed is picking up. And to kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at, we have the green over here. We also have red over here showing us this wind direction coming from the south and the west. And where you see the higher wind, where that rotation is, you can see some of this green in there too. Another better picture maybe to even see it. You can see a better mixture of the red and green. And that's where we are picking up this rotation on radar currently as this system continues to push its way pretty much directly eastward through Portage County, heading right towards the Mahoning and Trumbull County lines. As we go throughout the afternoon, another little thing to look at too is some hooks showing up on radar. Not a huge hook here, but again, it's just something we're going to have to keep tracking. Now, the wind has seemed, at least, to die down on this storm track around 30 miles an hour. Literally just a couple of seconds ago, looking at this system, winds were around 40 miles an hour. Doesn't mean that this is going to build up again. We could definitely see this continue to build some strength going into the next bit of time here, but we're going to have to keep tracking this going throughout the time. You can also see it's heading towards Palmyra, going into Wayland, also working its way towards and into Mahoning County here, Craig Beach, Lake Milton. Actually, I was just out there a little bit earlier today, and it was a beautiful morning, but again, we're going to see this system really start to push through that area coming up in the next 30 minutes to about an hour as we continue to track these storms. Another look kind of at the bigger picture of our viewing area right now. You can see we're dealing with some more regular rain up in Trumbull and Mercer County, some stronger pockets of that rain too in northern Trumbull County. Also dealing with these systems to our southwest, tracking towards Columbiana County. Again, bringing that potential for some shower and thunderstorm activity really sticking around. And again, kind of like Paul said, I'm thinking something probably will pop up here shortly.
Yeah, Kyle, that's what I was just going to say. We're going to know here real soon, and I do expect a new warning more than likely is going to be issued with this storm. This is a tornado warning that's currently in place here for Portage County. Now, what we're going to watch, though, is to see whether or not the new warning's issued, and I'm sure it will be. I'll be surprised if we don't see a new warning issued. But with that, regardless, we want you to be prepared here in Mahoning County. We'll also be jumping on air on all our stations if this goes to a tornado warning, which it does look like there's a pretty good likelihood that it's going to go.
Something just popped up in our National Weather Service chat that there has been signs and people have seen what they're calling a rapid rotating wall cloud with this storm going into Portage County right now. So this is clearly building up into.
And there's no question about it. I mean, there's an obvious hook with this. The tornado, we've been looking at those velocity data. This is right on Moff Road into going to Yale. This is Route 14, just northwest of Deerfield. 224 north. This is 76 up here to the north. And this is tracking pretty much right down Moff Road. If you're familiar with this part of Portage County, it's about to go over top of 14. So this is Route 14 south of 76 moving in. Kyle, they have not mentioned whether or not they're planning on. You're not seeing that on.
Not seeing any.
They're talking whether or not they're going to add or additional.
No mention of it just yet. The only thing that they've mentioned is they're continuing this warning in Portage County.
Okay.
And also hail being reported there at about 1.75 inches.
And that's no surprise, and that's big hail, and that's more than likely right on the interstate here. Looks like you can see this core, this purple core here, right on the Talmadge Road and right along I-76. This is just inside the Portage County line. That's where the hail would be. The tornado would be off to the south, pretty much right here on Wilkes Road, southeast of Industry, and right in the center of rotation. You can plainly see the hook coming on around. This is the inflow into the storm, and the tornado would be right here at this point, looking on Doppler radar. So really watching this closely, and I'm actually surprised we haven't had a new warning going into Mahoning County yet. This is moving into Mahoning County. This is also southwestern parts of Trumbull County. Now we're hearing of those reports of a possible rotating wall cloud underneath this. This is going to be right in this region, now east of 44 and Randolph, and it's working its way toward the Mahoning County line. And just so you know, if you're watching us right now and you know somebody, obviously it's already lightning and thunder here around the Lake Milton area, but this is going to move pretty much down 76. Pretty much down 224, and in between here as this moves into western Mahoning County. There's the update again on radar. You can see the heavy rain already spreading in, just about to move over top of western parts of Blanco, out to the west here at Craig Beach and Lake Milton. Very heavy rain going down 76 right now, but the tornadic part of the storm is still to the west, just about to cross over Route 14 as it moves on in. So that's what we're looking at. Again, no official warning for Mahoning County currently, but we're watching that closely. Bigger storm, western Columbiana County. You're hearing some lightning and thunder. The bulk of that is currently off to your southwest. Here's a little good news. The storm that has had a tornado warning most of the afternoon now only has a severe thunderstorm warning on it down around New Philly. But it's something we'll be watching. Now, off to the north here, back into this storm that is moving into Mahoning County again. Now approaching the Mahoning County line, and we're going to wait. I'm guessing just a matter of minutes, we're going to hear something. Kyle, let's go ahead and ask the Weather Service, if you don't mind. Let's go ahead and ask them if they're going to issue on with this. We'll just get right to the source and see how we get an answer on that, whether they're going to issue a new warning with this as it moves in, because I'll be surprised if they don't. But again, at least a severe thunderstorm warning with a possible tornado as you see this rotation. And now moving out of Portage County back into parts of western Mahoning County. This storm up in northern Trumbull, we're watching it up around Mecca, Cortland, up toward the northern half of the county. Currently, no big signatures on that are concerning from a rotation standpoint. But with that being said, that's something we're watching. Any of these storms could start to spin up at any point here this afternoon. So again, tornado warning. It's eastern Portage County. Currently, it's until 4:30, so there's about 7 minutes left on this warning here. It goes into eastern parts of Portage County, but the outer edge of the storm is already moving into Mahoning County. So if you're off to the east in Austintown or Youngstown, looking off to the west, it's very dark. You're hearing rumbling thunder. Well, this storm is moving its way almost due east here into Mahoning County. So that's what we're watching this afternoon. Thank you, Kyle, for sending that out. We'll see what we get a response with that.
Yeah, it's something else I'm just picking up on too. Looking at the wind velocities, they are really starting to pick up now as they approach the county line there. I don't know if you want to click on any of that.
Maybe we'll go ahead right into
I
that.
saw readings getting close to 60 miles an hour right around there. In that part of the system.
And there you go. So what we're looking at in here, there's a 42. We're looking around. And again, these are winds going in opposite directions. And the one place we really want to look is right where these are going in opposite directions together. And again, that's where the tornado would be. This is the rotation. Red is going away from the radar. Green is going toward the radar. So we're getting some of these different variants in here going in different directions, up to 50 miles per hour or higher in one direction. In order to have a tornado warning, a Doppler radar tornado warning, you need these are called gates. Each of these little pixels here are called gates, and you need what's called 90 knots, 90 knots of gate-to-gate shear. So each of these little parcels have to be beside each other and add up to 90 knots. That typically is the trigger for a Doppler radar indicated tornado, and you can see that we are right on the threshold of that here. This storm also has a well-defined hook to it, and when we say hook, I'm going to turn that off so I can show you what I'm talking about. You can plainly see as I go ahead and just draw a line on this. This is what's called the hook right here, and it did have a more pronounced little ball on it earlier. Not quite as signified currently, but again, as that moves into Mahoning County, this is still a dangerous storm. The storm up in Trumbull County, just real quick here. Still not seeing any rotation on that, so that's good news. That is still heavy rain and possibly a little gusty wind with it. But this storm moving into Mahoning County is one that we are watching extremely closely now. The heavier rain already just about to Austintown. That's the end the center edge of it starting to move on in, and it will continue to drive its way into Mahoning County here this afternoon. So that's the latest here from as far as what we're looking at on radar. Some heavier rain down in Columbiana County way. Moving in the southwest corner and also up into northern parts of Mercer County, but currently not seeing any major severe signatures on those storms. Our biggest concern is this current storm that has a tornado warning here in the moving into western parts of Mahoning County and out of Portage County. Kyle?
Yeah, still no word from National Weather Service yet on if a warning will be issued in our area. We're still waiting to hear on that, but again, this system is really starting to pick up right on the county lines here in Trumbull and Mahoning counties. I would say make sure if you are near that county line, again, Lake Milton area, Craig Beach area, again, now approaching Austintown. Get inside if you're hopefully you are watching this from inside, and make sure you want to get to a safe space as we continue to track this system working its way into our viewing area. Again, no word yet on an official tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning in Mahoning or Trumbull counties at this point. But again, lots of lightning associated with this. Again, we're still looking at the chance for a tornado to roll through, and that's why we're here tracking this system right now. Again, a couple signs that we're going to be looking at is some of this hook that you can see right off the back of this system, right near Route 14 is where some of that hook is. And let me show you some of the rotation tracker. Starting to see some rotation again near Palmyra, also near Deerfield, very minimal at that, but rotation is still something we're going to keep tracking. One way we also track that is looking at some of the wind velocity.
Here we go. Okay, so we just got confirmation on that, Kyle, and what we're going to do is they are going to issue a tornado warning for Mahoning County.
Got it. Okay.
So if you're listening in the control room, let me know in my ear when we're hot. We need to go to all 4 stations. So if you can put that back to radar for me, Kyle.
Let's go back to
if you let me know in my ear, we need to go to all 4.
I might need you to step out of the way for a second.
Yep,
There we go.
that's fine.
Okay.
I will, all 4 stations, please. Just let me know when we're All right, again, this is meteorologist Paul Wetzel tracking severe weather this afternoon. We are currently having a tornado warning in place. We've been tracking this storm online at WKBN.com as it's made its way through Portage County. A new tornado warning will be coming shortly for Mahoning County. So we've been talking to the National Weather Service, and again, a new tornado warning. It's not showing up yet, but they are going to move this into a tornado for Mahoning County. This is the reason we're breaking in on air. We apologize for interrupting your programming, but this is a dangerous situation with these storms moving in this afternoon. Currently, it is a tornado warning that's in place. Now, the tornado would still be in Portage County. This is heavy rain moving along Interstate 76 now, moving into central Mahoning County, just north of 224. Again, that warning will come in soon. Where we're concerned about right now is here in Palmyra, Deerfield. Here's 224. There's a new warning. Okay, so this is our new tornado warning. Again, this is for Mahoning County here. As your alerts are starting to go off, you're going to start hearing sirens going across countywide here in Mahoning County for a new tornado warning that was just issued. That's why we broke in on the air. This is officially in place until 5:30. So we're going to be with this storm for a while here in Mahoning County as it tracks its way on in. We've got you covered here. Here's what you need to do. If you're in the southern half of the county, this is up to the north. This is mainly north of 224 at the present time. We're going to watch it very closely. We're going to track it with you as it moves on in. If you are along 224 in north, at this point, you need to be taking your tornado preparation. That is, get into an interior room if you don't have a basement. If you have a basement, start making plans to get to the basement as this storm moves through, as it makes its way out of Portage County. It's already pushing in heavy rain and a lot of lightning in Mahoning County, but the tornadic part of this storm is just about to cross the county county line here, coming out of the Palmyra area and making its way the leap across the county border. This is going to move into Blanco. Berlin Center. You are right in the target of this as it makes its way out of Portage County here this afternoon. So a very dangerous storm. We've been watching for these storms all afternoon. I'm watching to see as they continue to rotate and pick up some intensity with them. But right now, the area of concern is pretty much here. That's 225 in eastern Portage County, and this is where the tornado would currently be if it was on the ground. We don't have any confirmation that a tornado is on the ground at this point. This is a Doppler radar estimated tornado, but we have had reports of rotating wall clouds with this storm as it's made its way on in. Again, this is knocking on the door of Mahoning County. Now, this is heavy rain and more than likely some hail coming down around Craig Beach, Blanco, right down 76, right down Mahoning Avenue. And this heavier rain is already pushing over toward North Jackson, getting into the Austintown area. This storm is taking an almost due east track, slightly southeast. So what this will do is this puts Youngstown in its sights. This puts Canfield in its sights. This puts Boardman in its sights if the supercell holds together. And these have had a history today of holding together. So this is a strong storm and a dangerous storm now with a tornado warning in place currently for Mahoning County. And this is for an hour. So we apologize for interrupting your programming, but this is a dangerous situation and this is our policy. When we have dangerous weather, especially a tornado warning, we're going to be there for you as these storms track on through. So this is what we're doing. We're going to follow this through as it moves in. Let's go ahead and talk about the storm. Now, there are some other storms around, and don't worry, we're watching those too. They currently do not have the intensity or the rotation that we're concerned about, like the storm that we're dealing with here in Mahoning County, but we are also keeping a close watch on that. So I'm going to use some tools here with you and jump off the screen, and we'll get a better look at this storm as it moves through, trying to alert people. Kyle, have we heard anything different on your end as far as the Weather Service goes?
Not at this point, other than tornado rotation that's being tracked is north of Deerfield and between Deerfield and I-76 at this time. Again, working straight towards Mahoning County line right there and into our viewing area, and that's why we have this warning issued at this time.
All right, thank you, Kyle. And what we're looking at here, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you what we're watching. These colors mean a lot to us. What we're looking at, you see this brighter red color currently right down here along 224 off to the south, and I'll circle this. This is air going away from the radar. These darker colors are air going toward the radar. This tells us that we have strong rotation in this area right here, and I'll go ahead and clear that back off for you. We also use what we call our rotation tracker. That tells us and gives us a good indication of where the rotation has been. In fact, if I back this up, you can plainly see that that has had plenty of rotation with it as it made its way across Portage County. I'll go ahead and turn the storm reports on. I don't see any reports currently of any damage from this storm, but I'm sure we'll start seeing those come in if there are. Right now, though, this storm is a dangerous storm. Tornado warning until 5:30. That's for the big part of Mahoning County, and that's because this storm, and I'm going to just put a loop on this just over the last 15 minutes to give you an idea. This storm is tracking off to the east here between 30 to 35 miles per hour. Now, the tornadic part of the storm, that is tracking its way east, and we'll go ahead and put a timestamp on that, and basically a quick cone from where the tornado would be off to the east here at about 30 miles per hour. And this is a look at some of the cities where this would show up as far as the tornadic portion of this storm. That puts it in North Jackson, right around 450. Bowman's Corners around 450, over toward the west side of Austintown around 457. So just to kind of give you an idea, that doesn't mean you're not already getting very heavy rainfall and more than likely some hail too as this storm moves on in. But that would be the tornadic part, and that's the area that is just now crossing the county line out of Portage County on into Mahoning County right now as this tornado warning continues. Go ahead,
yeah, so something from National Weather Service that we're just seeing, some of this rotation now just starting to cross the line. Also just posted a picture of kind of what you guys are seeing right now outside. A big wall cloud right near Berlin Center, and it looks like you could really see what's going on out here. Just a lot
hate
of
me.
activity.
Yeah,
very
definitely. If
dark
you are south of this storm, I'm sure you're seeing it. Now, you should be in your tornado shelters. But if that was, we just saw a picture from the National Weather Service. There's a plain wall cloud on this underneath. And there's no surprise. This thing has hooked. It is showing rotation with it. It definitely could drop a tornado at any second at this point as it moves here into western Mahoney County. That's why you need to be safe. And that's why we're tracking this for you. And that's why we have broken into programming. So let's talk about some areas that is an immediate concern of a tornado. This is heavy rain off to the east, Austintown. It's coming your way. You're getting rain. You're getting hail up into Blanco. You're getting heavy rain along 76. But the tornadic part of this is going to be just south of Blanco to Berlin Center. If you're in Berlin Center, you need to be in your basement now. You need to be into an interior room. A dangerous situation moving your way. Mock Road, Heiser Road, Berlin Station Road, Leffingwell here. All these areas and even points northward, including Blanco up here to the north. This is moving in. So let's get in a little bit closer and go ahead and just work this storm on through. Again, the tornado would be right around Mock Road and Heiser Road, moving over Bedell Road here in western Mahoney County. It is now cleared Portage County, and it's going to work its way off to the east. Another little area we're going to watch. See this little notch? Right here northwest of Ellsworth. We'll wait and see. What these supercells do is they regenerate. So you see a storm.
You mad at me?
It produces a possible tornado, and then it fades and a new meso forms, a new supercell forms. We're watching this.
You like working one?
This is around the Ellsworth area. This may take over as the new area of rotation, but right now the concern is out here around the Berlin Center area, and regardless of you're to the east or to the west here in Mahoney County, if you're in this red area, you need to be in your basement. You need to be into an interior room. So let's talk about points eastward here as this storm is moving in. Austintown, Canfield, Boardman, Youngstown. This is moving your direction. That also includes the Mineral Ridge area. It's going to get heavy rainfall. It's sort of on the northern fringe of it, up here on the Trumbull County line. The tornadic part of it, though, is off to the south. And there we go. Radar update for us. So the tornado, if there was one on the ground right now, we don't have any confirmation of that, but if there was one on the ground right now, it would be right up and down here in Berlin Center along 534. So this is where we would be most concerned currently here in Berlin Center. Here is where the tornado would be. Blanco up to the north here as you get up toward Mahoning Avenue. Between there and also between there and 224. Pretty much would be the most dangerous part of this as it moves on through. And then as we move eastward here, this is going to continue to work its way over toward Duck Creek Road, running north and south. If you are off to the west here, Portage County, this is now clear of your area. So we'll see that trimmed back. And we will start talking about the all clear areas because you want to know when you're safe, at least from this storm. But again, this is a big storm, and it does span the entire county now with heavy rain and hail. And those locations are mainly off to the north here. Rosemont, North Jackson, out toward Blanco. Very heavy rain. More than likely some big hail, too. The area we're concerned about a tornado right now, right around the Berlin Center area here, and that does include central Mahoning County. So Union Station Road, just north of Leffingwell. As you make your way in, let's get in closer on some of these roads, just so we can make sure we have you safely here. Hoyle Road, and also up there, let's see,
I'm good.
Road there to the north. So again, this is the center of this storm that we're worried about. Real quickly, I know there are other storms out there going right now. We're watching them all. There's some big storms here in southern Columbiana County. We're also now tracking a storm, and this one's starting to look interesting too in northwestern Trumbull County as well. That's one we're going to have to watch. And Kyle, if you see anything on that, let me know if you don't mind. We're going to keep watching for rotation on that one too. But right now, our immediate concern is this storm. There's the trim. National Weather Service just taking off the back half of the warning here for western Mahoning County, so they continue to keep this tornado going for central Mahoning County as this moves eastward. So prepare for very heavy rainfall, flooding rainfall in some of these spots, some big hail, and of course the potential is there for a tornado. I do want to talk about some of the rotation with this as it works its way on in. We'll use some of our other products. Also looking at that storm to the north. Kyle, did you happen to see anything?
You saw me?
Not at this point. Looking at velocities and wind, not showing any rotation.
You're in the game.
The storm in the north. Winds right now on this clocking in right around 30 to 35 miles an hour currently. As that storm moves across Trumbull County, but nothing of note at this point. Again, main concern being
It's 1v1 with a gun.
storm going right over Berlin Center right now. Some of those winds are really starting to pick up there, Paul.
Yeah, and this is the area
It's
we're concerned
1v1.
about right now. This is right around Berlin Center, Berlin Station Road.
Yeah.
Okay, here we do not have any power outages. We're getting some news reports out of the newsroom, so that's good news here. But
I'm
again,
in the
this is
game
right
with
on Duck
1v1.
Creek Road, Berlin
You
Station,
remember this
Leffingwell Road,
game?
as you make your way down 224. And let's go ahead and talk about areas that I am concerned that you need to be
You
taking
do?
over.
Yeah.
If you live in Canfield, you should be in your basement. If you live in Canfield, you should be in your interior room. This rotation
Sunny.
is moving in
You
your
have that skin?
direction right now. It's moving off. I'll go ahead and center this up at about 30 miles per
Yep.
hour. So I want to go ahead and put just the center of rotation with this. So this would put this through Ellsworth here at 445. That's what we're tracking.
You
That's
remember you
almost
saw
over top
me?
of Ellsworth. This is the tornadic part of the storm. This is going to put it in Canfield, right around
That.
455. The Stars Corners area around 5 o'clock. Cornersburg around 5 o'clock. Boardman around 5:05. So the center of rotation of this storm, the area that we're concerned about, the tornadic part of this storm, has basically lined up now pretty much with 224. So think
How
of
long have you been
yourself as
playing
in a
this?
car on 224, but it being a possible tornado going east,
Yeah.
moving at about 30 miles per hour. That's the concern right now, and currently that concern is right over top of Berlin Center, heading toward Ellsworth. Again, the very
I
heavy
do.
rainfall from Austin town off to the west here. As you
What
make your
is this
way
guy
into
here to
North
be?
Rosemont, North Jackson,
Yeah.
more than likely hail coming down with this. In fact, we can look at some of our products and probably some hail swaths in here, as this has been
Yeah.
a history of producing hail, and it more than likely continues to do so. But our biggest concern right now
You
is
can't
the
come in the
rotation.
game?
There's a look at Rotation Tracker currently, and again, we're looking at some other products in here to kind of give us a bigger
I can play it?
update with this, and this just continues to show currently a broader rotation, but still a significant rotation. That's this area of red and green together that we're monitoring very closely here. And again, this is right on 224.
You like
marching
Jim?
its way eastward with this storm in Mahoning County. So we'll reset here again. Apologize for breaking into your programming, but this is a dangerous situation and a policy that we have here at the station that we are on air alerting you as needed with these storms as they continue to work their way
I
through.
like
We
it.
do currently have a tornado warning going for Mahoning County, and that's until 5:30
Remember
this afternoon.
Boxman.
I am also watching off to the north here. This storm up
AKA
in northwestern
you,
Trumbull
Boxman?
County, it's starting to take on those supercell characteristics, and that's what we've been watching all afternoon. The atmosphere has been primed for this, starting to see the C shape taking shape.